Starting to go live.
I'm gonna go Instagram live as well, which is hilarious. I tried it for the first time yesterday.
So it's on your Insta channel.
Sophie, can you give us a number at the end of roughly how many people have been attending your Instagram live?
Yes, I don't.
Please.
I honestly don't expect it to be many, but I will.
Don't worry. just for records. Thank you.
Yes, of course. And I'm sharing it with Frankly Craftwear, so that she's doing the course with me on Insta Live. We don't need to talk, but just so that there's a bit of connection.
I'm doing it along with you as well, Sophie.
Okay. I'll just tell her going live on Insta. It's just a whole other world, this tech stuff, isn't it? Okay.
Just to let you know, guys, we're live.
Okay, great.
So we'll just wait for a minute for everyone to come.
You can do the housekeeping, Matt?
Yeah, don't worry on it. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm just going to pop a disclaimer up on the screen now. This event is recorded. It will be on YouTube live from our Fashion Revolution YouTube channel. If you prefer not to be recorded in any way, please leave the video now. We also ask that you mute your microphones during the call and disable any videos if possible. Thank you. Over to you, Tamsin.
Okay. Hi, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. We are about to have a workshop on darning your jeans or your denim with Sophie Hawkins, who I can say is the most brilliant repairs and mending teacher. And I'm here to darn along with a pair of jeans. So over to you, Sophie.
Hello, everybody. I can't see you, but I'm imagining you're all very cozy at home, comfortable. Today, I have pulled out the most dishevelled pair of Levi's jeans that have been well loved by my father. I'll show you just how loved they've been. I've made an animal pattern.
We can't see you, Sophie.
Oh, this is a good.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see my screen?
Yeah, there we go. It's all good now.
Yeah?
Yep.
And do I need to mute everybody else now?
Don't worry, I've sorted everything.
Sorted it out. Okay, cool. Okay, hello. So I pulled out my dad's Levi's, and he thought, I can't wear these anymore. You should have them to practice your mending. So we're going to pick one of these holes and mend it. And I think the best, most useful area is probably around where the pockets are.
Sophie, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't see you again.
Yeah, we can't see you. If you just accept the video request.
Just invite Ali Frankly into the Instagram live.
Yeah, we can see you now. Keep it like that.
Yeah, see if Frankly comes up. Okay, cool. So the most useful thing I think I can teach you today is around the coin pocket area. There's usually a lot of distress. So I'm going to take a tear that's about 10 or 11 centimeters long. And
I'm really sorry, Sophie, we're going to have to start again because we can't see you.
Oh.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think it's your connection, Sophie, because it keeps going in and out.
Oh, right. Sorry.
She's on the bar on top with everybody else.
Yeah, we can see you now in the
It's not
bar.
appearing.
Yeah, it's very jumpy.
Is it?
Are you recording it as well, Sophie?
Oh, it does say recording in mine. So let's make sure that that's turned off.
We are recording Fashion Revolution, but I was just wondering if you're recording your screen, it might slow down your internet.
Oh, it is off. It's not recording, I'm afraid. Maybe just I'll carry on and then just let me know if it's just not working.
No, it's
Maybe
not working. I can
yeah.
tell you straight away, it's not working.
Okay.
You don't appear on screen. You do appear very, very jumpy. It seems, I think it's a connection problem with the video because we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Maybe, Sophie, if you rejoin the call.
Okay.
And I can enter you in, yeah?
Sorry, everyone. We have a problem.
Wi-Fi issues.
Sorry, everybody. We're just having a few technical glitches. Technology is great when it works.
It did work so far.
Yeah, it's been okay so far, but yeah, I think Sophie's just going to rejoin and hopefully we'll be able to see her this time. I'm itching to get darning, so hopefully she'll be back with us shortly.
She is now.
Same thread or same colour thread? Burgundy, very nice.
Oh, we can see you now. Perfect.
All right, great. Okay, so from the top, really, really old Levi's jeans. We're going to focus on the coin pocket area because heavy coins and keys always wear out this area. Obviously the pocket bag, but then pocket bag starts poking through. So you need a bowl, a cereal bowl. Can you see that? And then you put the bowl underneath your tear because you're going to make a nice taut area to work with. Then you either get an elastic band and put it around this rim here, or a scrap piece of fabric and tie it in a bow. Yeah, so the way this is going to work is I'll do a 10-minute demo, and then if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat box on Zoom or in the comments on YouTube, and questions on Insta, I think will just come from Ali, and any that we miss, we'll get back to you afterwards. So you have a really nice taut canvas and you can see your hole. Then if you don't have a measuring tape, you can just use your thumb, but just kind of look at the hole as if it's a rectangle or a square, because what we're going to do is create vertical lines with a thread and then horizontal lines. So it's good to just think about how big the hole is. And first, we're going to make vertical lines. See, mine's going this way. So I'm going to do the vertical lines along, how would I describe that? Down the width of it. So you wouldn't want to start by doing your darning lines on the longest part because then it's going to be weaker. Hope that makes sense. So we're going to be coming down like that. Okay. Then you get a needle with a big eye, and for denim you do need a sharper point. So a big eye and a sharp point is ideal. I always end up putting the needles in my mouth, but it seems to be fine to do that. And I'm going to go orange today. I'm going to choose a contrasting stitch. Unravel about the length of your arm, because you don't want it too long. Take your scissors, make a nice cut, and not the end. I always just do a really easy loop knot. And then thread your needle. So I'm using a really nice, what's that? I guess you could, you could fire some questions over to me, or if everyone's all right, we'll answer the questions afterwards. And then if they have anything pressing, if they're actually trying this, then they can go over to the YouTube live channel, write the comments, and they'll get to us for sure. Okay, so you've knotted the end of your thread, threaded your needle, and you're going to come in right at the edge. I'll come up to the camera now. Okay, so right up to the corner to make your first entrance, and just loop in once to secure your thread. Okay, so like that. Over there, like that. Okay, and now we're going to draw the warp lines, which are the lines that come down like this. We're going to draw them with the thread. So start by trying to figure out the best way to do this. Yeah. Start by coming down one and then out, very, very close. And then back up and across. So you're basically making sure, I'll just do a few and then you'll be able to see. Okay, so you see how close those are? You want them to meet really, really close. You can see that, Ali. It's probably quite a bad camera, but yeah, exactly. So you're making a ladder that is like probably 0.5 centimeters below your teared area and 0.5 above as well. So I'm just going to see if I can show you I've actually done it on a jumper. I've started it on a jumper, so you can see that is the beginnings of the warp coming down, and then we start to weave across like that. See? So I'm going to continue. And to make it exceptionally beautiful, I think it's really nice to follow the line of the tear. So your darning patch is going to kind of look exactly like the shape of the tear, which is a bit like a country or an island. So it's going to be an orange area that looks exactly like that.
Hi Sophie, it's Matthew here. Can I just ask, are you connected to your Wi-Fi when you're Instagram living at the same time as the Zoom? because that might be why everything's glitching, because we can't really see your demonstration.
Okay, cool. I'll end it. Maybe.
If you got a mobile internet, you can use that whilst you're Instagram living, maybe.
Okay, done. Turned it off. Good idea.
Okay, maybe it's a bit better now.
If you could split the Wi-Fi for this connection and the internet mobile for the other connection, maybe quality will get better. Yes, it's already better.
It's already better. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, don't worry. It's all an experiment for everybody, so absolutely fine. It's just to let you know that unfortunately it was a bit glitchy. Okay, we leave you now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm making my ladder and I'm following the shape of the tear. Oh, it's really hard to do it on both. I reckon I'm gonna sit down over here. There we go. There, I'm not going to get bad back now. That was a really tricky angle.
Sophie, how are you doing the ladder? Because I'm joining along with you. I'm not quite clear. Do you just do it from one side to the other, or do you weave it through the yarn?
So you're making the ladder on its own. So you pull through the thread so it's secure to your jeans first. It's coming out the right side. And then you are drawing a vertical line with the thread coming down your tear.
Okay.
So first you enter down here, bring the needle out as close as you can to the first stitch, but not too close, but as close as you can, and then come back up the top. But you're coming as close as you can, and then you repeat. Bring the needle out, then come down. Bring the needle out, then come over.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that's great. Thank you.
Fabulous. I think, Ali, you probably can empathize with sewing. It's so hard to describe what you're doing a lot of the time. And also everyone has a different language. Yeah, the way all of our brains work. The really important thing is that you don't pull the hole closed or at all, because you'll get puckering. So you're just trying to make it as flush over the hole as possible. And we mend it by covering the hole rather than sewing it together. Yeah, they look good. There's right at the beginning, that one's a little bit spaced out, but you can always go back and fill in. So if you see any gaps before we go to the weft, you can come back and make another stitch, and don't worry about how it looks on the inside, because it's always perfectly imperfect on the inside. So should we do some questions yet, or would it be a bit premature? Oh, what's the best thread to use? Okay, so I'm actually using wool on denim today, which is rogue, but it's going to look lovely. So Scanfill is a wool darning thread. That's a really lovely thickness. Ta-da! And if not, then just your standard embroidery thread that you'll be able to get from Tesco's or a haberdashery. And for this, you would pull out six of the threads or 4 of the threads together, and then thread your needle with that, because you want the thread to be as thick as possible, really, or at least to match the thickness of the material that you're darning. Obviously with denim, it's usually really thick. So, how's it working for you, Tamsin?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Hang on, I'm going to show you what I'm doing as well. So you can give me, yeah, I'm just focusing on a little, I don't know if you can see, I can't see my screen.
Yes, I can see, yeah.
So yeah, they're in a bit of a bad way, these jeans.
Oh, that's going to look lovely. Really
so I'm just focusing on a little bit at a time, because I was going to do this whole area, but I couldn't get the needle from one side to the other through my bowl.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it gets a bit fiddly.
Yeah, so I'm just doing a little bit.
You'll get to know what's your favourite bowl as well.
Yeah, so why do you use a bowl?
I mean, you could use a hard surface that's like, you know, that for socks you would have a mushroom that's made of wood, and then you're darning that kind of shape of the heel most of the time, so that the mushroom stops you from sewing the sock to itself. But with denim, you usually need a bigger surface area. So I like a bowl, because then you can really pull it tight. You can see the size of the area that you're working with.
And is that instead of, can you get like a darning frame, or is there a,
it would probably be
a sort of hat,
which wouldn't work with denim because it's too thick. It wouldn't go through the 2 layers of wood. So right. I think household items are the way forward.
Yeah, no, I love it. With a hair elastic, it's just brilliant.
There we go. Yeah, we're not going out to the shops. We're not buying.
We are so not.
I'm not really buying anything online either. But
yeah.
Just using what we have. That's what it's all about.
Who taught you to darn, Sophie?
Myself, I think. Oh no, my best friend Cerise.
No. Shout out to Cerise.
Shout out to Cerise. Yeah. But she taught me on her jumpers, and I just loved how imperfect it looks, but it makes you love your item instantly once you've had a go at mending it.
Have you converted all your friends to darning?
I think I have. I've started to make to expand the audience, you know, so you don't have to be live with me or visit one of my workshops. I've actually taught myself how to edit, and I've made a darning a Guernsey how-to video.
Where can we find that?
Well, I'm running a crowdfunder for my Japanese denim company at the moment, and if you pledge £10, then I send you a link to the videos, and then you can learn at home. They're kid friendly as well. I've used some really fun music. So this is my situation so far. I've run out of thread, but that is going to hopefully gradually expand over there. I'm not sure what time it is now. What time is it? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna teach you how to come back the other way. Do you think this is a good time to do that?
Yeah, good plan.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna rethread my needle. BRB. 2 seconds.
Mine's gone a bit crisscrossy over in places. It's not nearly as neat as yours, but anyway.
Okay, I think once you thread the weft, which I should probably do in a different colour to show you. I'll do it in yellow. Once you start sewing the weft, it neatens itself up, Tamsin.
Okay.
So don't worry.
Really juicy colours, can't you, with the yarning, with the yarn?
Yeah, nice and bright. Wool is just the most beautiful fibre.
Are you using a special needle?
Yes, I just think the bigger the eye, the easier it is to thread. And then, so they're called embroidery needles, but a lot of embroidery needles are very rounded and blunt at the end. So that would be quite hard with denim. You need a little bit of sharpness.
Mm-hmm.
Has that got? That's what they're called then. Yeah, tapestry needle. That's what you need.
Okay. Sophie, there's a question coming on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's asking, can we do this now, or do you want to do it at the end?
Yeah, no, do it now.
Okay. I often have to mend the crotch area on jeans. I prefer a denim patch under the worn part or on top. What do you suggest?
Yeah, brilliant. The crotch area always goes, especially if you wear your jeans cycling. There is definitely holes in this pair that I could show you. I would, with that, I think you've done exactly the right thing. You do need an extra piece of scrap fabric to back it with, because you need it to be as strong as possible. So ideally, if you can get hold of it, you use interface webbing. Basically, I've actually made a complete how-to video with a patch. So the person that's asked that question, pledge on my crowdfunder and I'll send you the link, because literally I mend a hole using interfacing. You back it with a scrap fabric, and then you can either use a patch on top and sashiko stitching on top, or you can darn on top of that, basically.
Okay, explain sashiko stitching.
Sashiko stitching is a beautiful Japanese heritage stitch where they would reinforce farmers' wear, farmers' kimonos that are beautiful indigo cotton by doing what I just said, really, layering up fabric and using a stitch, which is a running stitch going like this, along, just basically with the layers, the stitches then join all the layers together, and you end up with a kind of quilted effect, which creates a much stronger garment. Okay, so I'm going to start the wefting stitch now. So because my tear goes up quite high here, I want there to be a horizontal straight line to follow. Ideally, for this demonstration, I would have covered this hole, and I can show you a full length of the yellow coming across, but we haven't got time. So I'm pulling the yellow out, and I'm just gonna start by coming under. It's so detailed, but basically you come up at the top to make your first line, and you weave over one, under the next, over the next, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. So
what was that question, Sophie?
So Ali says, when you weave over and under, do you pick up any denim at the same time? And I would say no, but I would say yes to when you're sewing at the edges. That's when you want to be sewing the denim. Yeah, but in the middle, no, it will just kind of make a bit of a mess. So my first stitch is coming, do you see my needle sheening through? Over, under, like that. And then I'm gonna secure that one line by just going under the denim. Don't know if yellow was the best choice, was it? Living and learning, people. Constant.
So what are you doing when you go under the denim?
So it's just basically making a stitch to secure it, because if you don't do that, when you come back, we're going to go zigzag. We're going to go over, under, over, under, over this way, and then make a stitch, and then come back over, under, over, under, over, under, make a stitch, come back like that. So if you don't make a stitch, it starts to pull on itself.
Mm-hmm. So you're literally just weaving. It's like you're weaving a little bit of cloth.
Exactly. That's the lovely thing, is that the denim started off being woven, and you're taking your hand and reviving it in the same way. Which is just the most sustainable thing you can do. Mm-hmm.
So how long would it take you to do that whole section, do you think?
I think if I got into a rhythm, into the flow, about no longer than an hour. Actually, that's why I thought it would be good for today, because it's very satisfying and you don't really need much equipment. It's all about feeling like you've achieved something.
I'm totally in the zone now.
In the zone.
Yeah.
I've really got into 3 things a day. Try and achieve 3 things a day. And obviously be realistic with those things as well. Then by the end of the day, you aren't totally knackered and you feel that you're on track.
What are your 3 things today?
Oh, you know what?
What have you been
Walk the
to?
dogs. That's one of them. Walk the dogs. Prepare for this. Do this. And then that's it. That's it. And then watch everybody else's things as well on your live channel. So
can people, it would be really great to see if anybody is, over the week, if anybody does any weaving, any darning, and it'd be great if they could tag Fashion Open Studio, and is it s.hawkins, your Instagram, Sophie?
Sophie Hawkins Co.
Sophie Hawkins Co.
On all the socials.
Yeah, it'd be really great to see what everybody's doing.
Yeah, would love to see.
Like a dog's dinner, but hey, I will put it on my Instagram.
So I'm starting to make my yellow weft channels. So I'm actually showing you here that if I had more time, this is how long my weft would be going across, like that.
What happens when your weft doesn't go as close up to the previous line as you wanted it to?
Just still run with it, and then I would go back at the end to fill in gaps afterwards. So do your alternate. See, that's a bit gappy on mine.
Yeah.
But it will be easier once I've got my lines sorted. Once I know that that's my horizontals and they're coming down, it'll be really easy to repeat the process and come back up again.
Yeah.
Just fill it in where it looks like it needs filling in. But each line goes So say this one's going over, under, over, under. The next one goes under, over, under, over, under, over. So vice versa, every row down. And when you come back and fill in, you just have to kind of use your spectacles or a magnifying glass or a light and just look at which way your weft needs to go.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I know it sounds like I'm speaking another language.
No, it makes sense when you're actually doing it. It really makes sense.
Okay, fab.
Somebody's asking how you spell sashiko stitching. I think it's
Sash, so S-A-S-H-I-K-O.
as you spelt it, in fact. Brilliant.
And if anyone's got any suggestions on what they would like to learn at home as well, I'm on a bit of a roll with making these how-to videos, so I'm all up for suggestions.
What other how-tos have you got?
I've got an animal patch video, which is how to strengthen denim and a woven garment with an animal patch to keep the kids happy, and a woolen Guernsey jumper darning one, so that's basically for anything that's been moth-eaten. And a high demand one has been how to mend the pockets of your jeans, the actual pockets, especially for men who don't have wallets and they just do keys and cash in the pocket.
Do you think people are starting to look after their clothes better and treasure what they have?
Yeah, I do. I think the awareness, actually thinking about things from start to finish, thinking about things in a circular way, thinking about not wasting something, has increased. And so that comes into everything. You know, it comes into how often you wash your garments. Firstly, what you buy, obviously, and then I think there'll always be people that there's a need for newness. So people will need that hit from something new. But I'm hoping that when they do need that, they have a look at the great brands that are doing good things.
So tell us about what you're doing with your denim jumpsuit.
So I've been lucky enough to visit Japan and found had a tour around and met with some of the best denim mills in the world. And because the craft is, there's a district that's committed to denim manufacture, they're also committed to making workwear in a really sustainable way. And it's all in the space of a kind of small town. So my dream is to work with the denim mills and the sewers who have a way of dyeing the clothes that use 75% less water because of recycling water. For me, that's a nice pocket of working locally, where it's making garments in, firstly, a way that's kind for the planet, but secondly, it's such quality that they're going to last the longest, those types of garments. So I'm taking a jumpsuit first because I made this one I'm wearing last year, and every woman I saw wanted one, which was great. Even women who thought, oh, I can't wear jumpsuits. That's not, they try it on, and then because the cut's really good, they feel really comfortable and stylish. So I'm going for the jumpsuit. But in order to start work with these responsible, great manufacturers, it costs money. So I need to raise £10,000 to buy the initial sustainable fabrics. And from then on, if we reach the 10K on the crowdfunder, I also get awarded £2,000 more from weft which I'm going to donate to the makings of scrubs in the UK for the NHS. So it's just all a big, nice loop where I feel really excited to be able to do a little bit to help what's going on.
So with this crowdfunding, is this a new way of funding a small fashion brand?
Yeah, I think it's been around for a long time, but it's definitely a new structure for me. It also really helps communicate an idea really clearly, really committed. It's just like, this is what it is. There's no mistaking the goals of the project. And even if you pledge £5, you're involved. It really gets everybody involved in the journey, which is just so essential. It's not about doing everything by yourself. Definitely love working as a team with people. And
yeah, no, that's nice, isn't it? Because you immediately create a community around your brand that's invested in it, literally.
Yeah, exactly. Whether they want a jumpsuit or whether they want to learn how to mend something, or we'll be releasing different rewards along the way. Obviously, all kind of stay at home goodies.
Yeah.
That are supporting staying at home.
As a brand, how do you see yourself growing? Because this is, can you carry on doing smaller projects like this, and is that sustainable as a business?
With the workshops and the mending, I see that down the line being a wonderful thing once I've got once I have a base and a house that I live in properly. I rent at the moment, but a location that I can invite people into, that's when the craft side of the business is really going to come into its own. And the community around where I live as well will be on hand to mend the garments, so that I employ local people as well. But the growing aspect would be releasing batches of 300 of these made-to-measure jumpsuits, then selling out, repeating the process so everyone gets a chance to own one, and just kind of like tightening up the efficiency of the manufacture means the infrastructure is in place. So you've got these long-standing connections that work with the manufacturers, because if you don't know how to sell something and they don't fly off the shelves, then you can't click yes, repeat order, and just be making collections that don't, and you're left with stock that doesn't sell. So it needs to sell. The money has to come in so that you can support the connections that you've made, and everybody wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, be a proper efficient system.
So we're running out of time. Do you want to just finish up and tell us how we finish this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, okay, so here's where I'm at. The yellow is the weft, the orange is the warp. I'm slowly coming from one side all the way across. Ideally, I'd have all this orange and I'd be going up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over, up and over. And then sealing each end with a stitch at the end and then coming back again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really think there's any wrong way of doing this. And if you're having a go, I think it's always going to look good. So I just want to take the fear out of it. It's not kind of only for seamstresses or people that love sewing. It's for everyone. And I would love to see any attempts or any finished products, and the underside as well. Any photos of the underside's really, really great. I'm going to untie mine.
I'll show you mine. Ooh, it's a bit messy, but there's not a hole there anymore.
It's really good. There we go. There's not a hole there anymore. So
yeah, there's not a hole anymore.
I do think it's stronger than before as well.
Yeah.
Is that finished? It says thank you.
Yeah, I think almost. Yeah, just show us your last bit.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sophie. And people can follow you on Sophie Hawkins Co on Instagram, and tag us, tag Fashion Open Studio and Sophie, and show us your darning. And thank you very much, Sophie. That was brilliant.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to put the crowdfunder link in.
Good luck with the crowdfunder.
Have a great afternoon.
Sophie, before you leave, maybe you want to share links and on the chat channel.
There we go. I'm doing that right now.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Darning. Bye.
Bye.